Are you exhausted, foggy, gaining weight? Your doctor probably missed this. You do everything right. You eat well, you try to exercise even on the days you're so tired. You take the medication your doctor prescribed. You may go back for follow ups, you get your blood drawn, and every time you get the same phone call. Your labs are normal, everything looks fine, but you're not fine. You know it. You feel it in every morning when the alarm goes off, and you genuinely cannot imagine peeling yourself out of bed. It's in the way you lose the word you're looking for mid sentence, like your brain is waddling through mud. It's in your hands and your feet, which never seem to be actually warm, and it's on the scale watching the number creep up no matter what you do. If that sounds like you and your story, I need you to hear mine. For years, I was exhausted, foggy, cold hands and feet all the time. And the one that hurt the most, the weight gain that would not stop no matter what I did. That last one cut deep because years earlier I'd lost 100 pounds and I kept it off for 8 years. I knew what it felt like to be feel good in my body and I wanted it back. Every single time I went to the doctor, I heard the same thing. Your thyroid labs are normal. Year after year, even after they put me on thyroid medications, the symptoms never went away. So I started to believe it was me. That I wasn't trying hard enough, that this was just my fault, and it wasn't. Before I go any further, I need to say this clearly. I am not a practitioner. I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone sharing my own experience to hopefully help another person because there has to be a reason, and I went looking for mine. A handful of doctors saw me over the years, and none of them ran a full thyroid panel. Usually it was just TSH, sometimes with free T4. I was put on thyroid medication based on those standard labs, but it didn't fix what I was feeling. The fatigue, the brain fog stayed, the weight kept climbing higher, and the hair kept falling into the drain. And because those labs look fine on paper, that's usually where the conversation stopped. The unspoken message was if my thyroid labs are normal, the problem must be me. If that I am the problem spiral sounds familiar, I put together a free guide that walks you through exactly this, moving from blaming your body to actually understanding what it's trying to tell you. The link is in the description. Losing 100 pounds and keeping it off for 8 years wasn't just a number to me. It was proof I knew how to take care of my body. I knew what worked. So when the weight started coming back anyway, it didn't just feel frustrating. It felt like betrayal, like my own body had stopped responding to the things that used to work. I decided to try GLP-1 medication, and I was hopeful because I thought maybe this was finally it. I lost 100 pounds, and then it just stopped. The scale wouldn't move another ounce. I knew something deeper was going on, and I started searching for answers. I turned to social media, like most of us do, looking for anyone who may understand, because people on thyroid medication who still felt awful, people whose labs were normal, but their bodies were screaming otherwise. That's how I found the concierge doctor's office that specialized in thyroid care called Modern Thyroid Clinic. It was concierge, which meant it was out of pocket, but I found it as a much higher level of care because the doctor's hands aren't tied by limitations of insurance. After years of getting nowhere, I was desperate enough to invest in myself. Again, I'm not a practitioner and this isn't medical advice, but I do highly recommend Modern Thyroid Clinic if anyone wants to dig fully into their thyroid labs instead of just stopping at TSH. My first appointment with Modern Thyroid gave me hope. That's where I finally got a full thyroid panel, not just TSH, but free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and the antibody testing. And that's where I found out the truth, Hashimoto's and a T4, T3 conversion issue. Two things none of my doctors had ever tested for. This is exactly why I created the free guide. I had blamed myself for years on something my doctors had been missing. Grab it in the link in the description. Here's what I learned from my experience. If you want more detail as far as optimal ranges, make sure you connect with a physician who understands your thyroid. Think of TSH levels as just a signal from your brain telling your thyroid how hard to work. It doesn't tell the whole story, especially once you're on thyroid medication. Free T4 is basically the storage form of thyroid hormone, sitting there waiting to be used. Free T3 is your active form, the one that your cells actually run on for energy, and it's often the labs that get left out. Reverse T3 is like a competing hormone, and when it's elevated, it can get in the way of the free T3 actually doing its job. And thyroid antibodies, specifically TPO and thyroglobulin, show whether your immune system is attacking your own thyroid, which is what happens with Hashimoto's. None of that was ever tested for me until I got a full panel done by a specialist. And when I finally had the language for what my body was actually dealing with, I felt relief, real relief, because for so long I hated my body. I just felt betrayed. I just wanted that healthy, thinner feeling back. Finding out my body wasn't failing me, it just needed different support, everything changed. It was validating. It wasn't a lack of willpower. It wasn't laziness. It was Hashimoto's and a T4 T3 conversion issue, things a full thyroid panel could see and a standard TSH test could not. After years of blaming myself, I finally had an answer that wasn't just try harder or just eat less. I know what it's like to feel stuck, to wonder if you're supposed to live this way forever because someone told you your labs were normal. Please don't settle for that. Keep asking questions. Keep looking for someone who'll listen, whether that's a different primary care doctor, an endocrinologist, a functional medicine provider, or even starting with your own lab work. There are always ways to keep moving forward. You know your body better than anyone. Don't give up on finding your answers you deserve. Ask for a full thyroid panel. Ask for specifically about thyroid antibodies and free T3 and reverse T3, not just TH. To help you, I put together a free guide called From Blaming Your Body to Understanding What It's Trying to Tell You. It walks you through the exact questions I wish I had asked years earlier. It's linked right below this video. Go grab it. If this video helped you feel seen, I'd love for you to subscribe because we've only scratched the surface. Next, I'm going to be sharing my personal experience with peptides after 40. What changed, what didn't, and the lessons I learned along the way. Until then, keep asking questions, keep trusting yourself, and remember, you know your body better than anyone else.